Hello and welcome to On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And let's see what's on the hook today. Well, first of all, I'll tell you what I'm wearing. This is the summer yellow scarf that I made with the Fortunes Shawlette pattern by Moogly. This is a picture of it. It's a free pattern, and I'll put a link to it down in the description box. But I made this in just 2 or 3 sittings. It was very easy to make. It's made from a very small yarn. It's what it's called a number 3, but I have a hard time with that. I think it's more like a 2. It's Cotton Lorex. Let me get that out. Cotton Lorex by Rico, and it is a beautiful yellow yarn with sparkly all through it. It's quite gorgeous, and I'm looking for. It's in kind of a foreign thing. It's made in Italy. And it's mostly cotton, and it's got a little bit of 3% polyester, but it's 97% cotton. And it's just a yellow color. I'll put a link to that too. If you're interested in that, it's really beautiful. I had a couple of balls left over, so I've got them assigned to another pattern. And I talked about that on a video a few days back, but I really like working with it. It's easy to crochet, and it just slides over the needle. It's really fast. It's quite wonderful. So I really like this. Today I want to talk about KnitCrate. I got my KnitCrate box finally, and I'm a tiny bit late to the party, but not terribly. I've only seen a few reviews of the KnitCrate box this month. And you had a choice, or they had a choice, to send you either a beautiful purple yarn or a coral color, kind of a melon color yarn. So I received the melon color, and I love it. I am a little tired of purple, I guess because I have a lot of purple things, and purple is very popular and all. This is kind of an unusual color. It is it's really just a solid melon. There's a little bit of color variation in it, but not much. It's mostly a solid color, and it's very beautiful. I love it. In person, it's even more beautiful. And it is also a chainette yarn. So I'll see if I can get my camera will focus on that. Look at that. Anyway, it's a chainette yarn. I have crocheted with it. I've done a little work with it, and it is very easy to crochet with. It's very easy. It has a tiny bit of a halo, but not much. So it's not going to be too fuzzy. And I really like it. This is called the Vita Lana. That's their brand. It's a new kind of a yarn called Aloft, A-L-O-F-T. And this is the colorway Tiger Lily, which is very descriptive. That is exactly what it looks like. It's 48% merino wool, 20% baby alpaca, 32% organic cotton. And it's a DK weight, which is nice because it will go quickly. And it's 274 yards, and there are 2 hanks in the box. So I got excited about that. I've already got them caked up and ready to go. And these are exclusive to KnitCrate. So if you want some of this, you have to go to KnitCrate and buy it there. You can't get it on Amazon or anything. But I really like it. I think it's beautiful. I can't wait to use it. KnitCrate has outdone themselves with this color. I think the purple's pretty too. I've seen a couple of YouTubers with the purple, and it looks really nice. This is the book that came with it. This is for June of 2019. Lovely little model there with the crocheted scarf on the front, which I'm excited about. They did the front cover with a crocheted pattern. So, all right, KnitCrate, kudos to you. Throw us a bone here in the crochet community. I love it. Here is the purple, and it is quite beautiful. And you can buy this on the KnitCrate site. It's not exclusive to just members of the KnitCrate box subscription, but you can buy it. And if you're a subscriber to KnitCrate, a monthly subscriber, you can get 25% off if you want to buy another hank of a certain color, or if you want to change colors altogether, you can buy more yarn in that. This is the knitted shawl, which is very pretty, but I don't knit. Eventually I'll have to change that so I can say, oh yeah, I think I'll knit this. But it is beautiful. Look at that. It is just beautiful. It almost looks crocheted. I can say that. And then here is a picture of the crocheted pattern. It is very beautiful, and I have a few things to say about this. They're not bad, but I mean, I do have a few things to say about this. The skill level for this particular pattern in the crocheted version of the scarf is intermediate. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give that a whirl. Now here is a picture of it long ways, and you can see that there are different types of stitches. There are diagonals. There's a pretty good picture of it there. Okay, so that I can look at that and say that's not a beginner pattern, and I'll be right. Now the instructions are huge. That's one page. Here are pages 2 and 3. So there are 201 rows on this scarf. You think about that, 201, and there are 32 stitches across. And that's not totally terrible. Is that a word? That's not awful, but that's a long scarf. So I looked up, I thought, how in the world long is this thing? And I think it's in the 60s. It says that unblocked it is 7 by 62, blocked it is 8 by 68. So you stretch it a little bit and you get 68 inches out of it. And that is a long scarf. That is over 5 feet, almost 6 feet. And that's more scarf than Jeanne can wear. I can't wear that much scarf. But I did start the scarf because I wanted to tell my viewers that actually get the KnitCrate subscription what the pattern entails. And I did 7 rows of the scarf. And I consider myself an advanced crocheter. I've been crocheting a long, long time, and I've made a lot of fancy patterns, and some are just ridiculously fancy, and some are worth being fancy. This is a pretty pattern and all, but I'll show it to you. This is doing very difficult stitches, and not to give the pattern away, so I'm not going to say what they are, but those aren't just a regular row to row. Those are moving down 2 rows below, picking up a stitch, and I've done lots of that before, and I know how to do it, and I did it. I did it for 7 rows, and I thought, this isn't something that I could do and show my viewers that they could do, because I don't think very many crocheters can do this kind of work. And that doesn't mean anything, honestly. I mean, I think this would be beautiful in another pattern. So I'm going to use another pattern for this. I hate to say that because I like a challenge, and a lot of people like a challenge. And if you want a challenge, this is a challenge. But I think it should have been an advanced pattern, but intermediate and advanced, they're pretty much on the same level. I mean, once you get to a certain point, then there aren't too many more places you can go with crochet. And knitting's the same way. It's not any better than crochet. But I like the feel of the yarn. It's a beautiful, soft, pretty soft yarn. And I like the chainette because that's different. I like it because it's different. And it is very stretchy. It's very stretchy. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to not make this pattern because, frankly, unless I needed a challenge or wanted to spend a whole lot of time on one item, that would be great for this, but I am not willing to do that. So I'm trying to make items that my viewers can make, and I don't mean you shouldn't challenge yourself and that I don't want to challenge you, but to me, I call that an academic pattern. That means it's difficult just for the sake of being difficult. And most academic patterns are like that. They are a challenge for a very good crocheter who wants to try to figure out a pattern and make it work. And there are a lot of women out there that do that. My hat is off to them. But I'm not really in that vein. I can do it, but I don't really want to. I want to spend my time making projects that my viewers can make. Like this scarf. This is an easy scarf. This is every bit as beautiful a pattern as that one. And not to say that's not a pretty pattern. This is a beautiful pattern. And the yarn is exquisite. I love the yarn. But um, I would opt for a simpler pattern, just for me. This is just my opinion. I would opt for a simpler pattern that is very beautiful. Look at that. That is gorgeous. That is a gorgeous pattern, and it is so easy to do. Again, it's the Fortune Shawlette by Moogly. You can find it on the Moogly blog. Again, I'll put a link to it down in the description box. And if you got this yarn right here, I'm going to make this out of the Fortune Shawlette. So, and I'll probably start it this afternoon and see how far I get. I've probably got too much yarn for that, and I may not make the shawl huge. I might not make it much bigger than this because it's a summer color. This is not a winter color for a winter shawl. This is more of a summer, late summer, cool nights shawl, but it's not something you'd wear with a winter coat. I don't know, maybe you would. But I look at it and I say, this looks like summertime. So I'm going to make an airy, lacy shawl out of it and see where I get with that. So I'll be back with you to show you the progress on that. And that's what I've decided to do. Also in the KnitCrate box was a little measuring tape, which I thought was really nice. And I can certainly use 10 of these. I don't have any. I have a long tape that I fold up and I put it in my drawer. But this would be so much neater, you know, just to put that in my drawer. Wouldn't that be nice? Or I might put this in my project bag. That's probably where it'll go, in my project bag, so I can quickly measure something and see where I am without having to, you know, mess with the long measuring tape. So I just wanted to touch base with y'all on a quick video and show you the KnitCrate box and what I thought of it. And again, I am not dissing the designer. She did a beautiful job. And the testers that crocheted the shawl, very beautiful job. But again, I can't afford to spend the time on it. But as a viewer, you might want to try that and see if you can get through it. Every row has specific instructions. So what I did when the first 7 rows, I marked off each row as I finished it, and then inside the row there are repeats, and I marked down each time I did a repeat so that I could stay with it. And it is doable, but it would take me a long time to finish that. So I'm not going to do it. Anyway, join me next time to find out what's on the hook.